I don't want to participate in any type of war. I don't understand why men and women want war and they still want to hook up. It's kind of weird. Because so often I've seen that there's programming and conditioning going on that does not represent the man being lifted up. It's more so tearing down. And women, we don't even realize that the conditioning is going on. Is honesty a disadvantage in this space? Because that's how I'm coming. I'm coming with honesty. It makes no sense for us to bring the woman up, and then there's still women out here that are dogging and belittling our men. So we got to get the message that we got to come up together because we're for each other. Y'all do understand that, don't you? I'm trying to share with these women how to be better women, how to prepare themselves to be wives. I'm giving them what I call tools in order to walk out there daily. She don't advocate for us. No, that's not true. I very much do. I want you to have all the information and a good woman. All the information and a good woman, because I want you all men to be leaders.
Do you think most women can really deal with what it comes with a man that truly is having the trajectory of like a high level success? What's your thoughts on that, SB?
For me, I build with my husband. I think my husband is very successful now, but we build together. Going in the front door, we build together. And I still think that's the way to do it. Mm-hmm. To me, that's an actual ultimate test. You have a woman, this is a little bit off, but if you have a woman and y'all having a conversation and you're thinking about being married, ask that woman, are you interested in having one pot? Mm. Would you put all your money in one pot with me? Is this something we can do? And that right there, that'll answer all your questions. Yep. You know, that'll give you, does she trust you? Does she like you? Is she willing to build with you? That answers the total question right there. Mm-hmm. But I just think I think we all need to be reminded of what marriage is. Mm-hmm. So even if that man is super successful and is on that journey, has not achieved it yet, once he alters that journey and decides he wants a wife, which some of them do, because a lot of them say, hey, look, I got to get her now, because when I get successful, I'm not going to be able to trust anybody. I ain't going to know what she wants. Yeah. They need to figure out how to incorporate that woman into that plan that they had for themselves before. And it is always a way, because she is your wife. You all should be on one accord and have that same plan. You have to figure out how to put her in there. Right. So it can work, but she still has to know how to play that role, but you have to be the one to give it to her. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. It's me, your host, SB.
Dearly beloved.
I hope everybody's doing well today. What is today? Oh, it's Tuesday. Y'all, these weeks are going by so fast. I don't even know what day, week, whatever. It's just happening. I hope everybody's doing well, though. And I thank you so much for being here. Miss M, what's going on with you? Miss M, you first one in tonight. What's happening? No exercise class tonight? Feeling good? I'm glad. I'm glad to see you. Also, Jolie, what's up with you? Y'all got me all off because my girls are here. They first ones in. I'm saying hello to them, and I need to be over there saying hello to some other people. But who cares what order I do it in, right? But anyway, y'all, I'm so glad to be here with you guys. It is a good Tuesday. I've been very busy today. Dr. Steele's good to see you too. And it was just been one of those days. The title of tonight's show is Twisted Mindsets Are Delaying Their Purpose. Y'all listen, I you know what? It's just so much that we can talk about this. I don't know how this is going to come off with me sharing my thoughts in the way I think with you guys, but I hope that you all can follow me, because I'm always one of those ones who like go all the way to the end first and then come back to the beginning and, I think backwards. But y'all, some of y'all really get me. I guess y'all probably think the same way. I don't know. But I hope everybody's hearing me pretty well. And we're going to get started on this thing. But before we do that, I want to say hello to those over on Instagram. Y'all know for the last few weeks, we have been going live with those individuals over there too. And we love their support. Those of you that are on Instagram, hello. It's good to see you guys. Come on in. If you have any questions about anything, SB, what tonight's show is about, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I will hope to actually get to read that. But if not, listen, I appreciate you all and I appreciate the support. Also, I think we over here on Facebook tonight too. So my Facebook family, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. Make sure if this is your first time finding SBU live over on YouTube, make sure when you're coming in, you are giving me the thumbs up. I would love for you all to subscribe to the channel. But I just appreciate the fact that you guys are all here and they're coming in as we're speaking. Miss Jennifer, hello. How are you? I have finally made it to the live chat. Okay, Miss Jennifer, let's see what you're going to do. Let's have some questions. We love it. Miss Jeanette, hello. How you doing? It's good to see you guys. So tonight's show, again, is Twisted Mindsets Are Delaying Their Purpose. We're going to get into it, y'all, because it may be exactly how it sounds. I don't really know that. But before we do that, y'all know I got my weekly announcements. First thing I'm announcing is I Choose You. This is the 40 and over edition. Calling all men and women. We had that show on Thursday about 40 and over. Who would a 40-year-old really and truly date? And I told y'all from the beginning of the show, we're just going to have a conversation because we're going to be more confused by the end of the show. So I definitely see that there's a house divided with that topic because some men are definitely saying 40 plus year old men is like, I'm not trying to date no 19-year-old, 20-year-old woman. I ain't trying to have no more kids. What is wrong with you, SB? And then there are some that says the 40-year-old men, 40 plus year old men, no children. They have the world to do whatever they need to do with it. And I can agree with that for, somewhat. But I still wouldn't recommend or think that a 19, 20 and 21-year-old young woman would actually date seriously, a 40 plus year old man. Now, I don't have a 19, 20, 21-year-old, around me that I can truly ask as a young lady. So if some of y'all know one, just ask them to give you an idea of which she actually consider marrying a 40 plus year old man, because I would love to know. But anyway, I choose you. Y'all know anybody over 40, man and woman, let them go over, give them my information. We're going over to sbshow2020 at gmail.com. I need y'all to leave me just leave me a little note saying that they're interested because we're still gathering names. Like I have lots of ladies 40 and over. And I understand some men are like, no, SB, I can't be dating a 40-year-old. I'm like, wait a minute now. What you thinking? Maybe you should leave your options open. Like I said, it's such a house divided. But anyway, and then we have 40 and over, men and women. I don't have enough men. I need my men to participate. Y'all listen, doing this show, I Choose You, it takes all the awkwardness out of dating. It's just fun, you kind of shooting your shot, but it's fun. It's not
You don't feel the pressure that you may have like when you meet somebody organically in person. Y'all know I'm one of the ones that dating comes by referral. Now, listen, y'all already know over here in this comment section, you might get hit on if you're single. You might get hit on the conversation. So you guess what? We already know they're coming with confidence, man and woman. So we got to prepare ourselves. But again, I think it would just be so fun. So if y'all know somebody that just broke up, husband just passed away, wife just passed away, sbshow2020@gmail.com. Leave me a note and let me know you're interested and I choose you over 40. Thank you. So how you go? I just did all that. Y'all ready for this? Miss M says, I need to read that. Hold on, Mr. Boss. What Miss M saying about SB? I was in Durham and Fayetteville over the weekend visiting family. Had a great time. I am so familiar with Durham and Fayetteville because guess what? I live in North Carolina. I didn't know if you know that or not. I hope you had a good visit. I'm so glad to see that you're feeling better though. Last time we talked, you were down a little bit. It's good to see you in my neck of wood. Blake Barbie, what's going on with you? Renata, hello. It's so good to see you. My ladies are showing up. Mad, relentless, satisfied. Hello, hello. So listen, thank you guys for the memberships. All these things that you do, all your support. I am so glad that y'all here and so glad to be here with you. Yeah, Dr. Steele, they're for the grown and sexy. Yeah, you know, people trying to keep telling us we're not grown and we're not sexy, but guess what? We're getting it done, right?
Dearly beloved.
Oh, I forgot to say hello to my co-host. Co-host back there says, peace, Mr. Boss is on the Dearly Beloved soundboard. So anyway, y'all, okay. I got to tell y'all this story. Is there any more announcements I need to, anything else that I got to tell them? No, I ain't going to tell them nothing else yet. I might have some surprises coming for you guys, but I can't just give it to you all at once. I have to, I have to pace myself with these surprises because some of these things are big, right? So I got to pace myself. Now, but this is what I'm coming with today. I was just thinking, y'all already know what me and Mr. Boss do for a living. Hey, C. Jones, how are you? It's good to see you. We own a security firm. And with that, we hire a lot of people, right? So we do a lot of business and work for clients. But either way, we try to have the best presentation, best officers as possible. We handpick them, put them in place. We do all those things to set ourselves above, right? We don't just do, the numbers. We don't like the quantity game. We like the quality game. So that's how we pattern ourselves. We want quality. And lately, I've been having an officer. We ain't call no names or nothing like that, but we don't even got to use her. Let's just say, for example, this could be you. Who knows? But sometimes y'all know on jobs, people always know someone that struggles with being on time. So I've been like trying to figure out, because I have some officers who are very good officers, but they struggle with being on time. And I'm thinking, what's going on? It made me think. I was in deep thought about this. And I know that's crazy for some of y'all. Why would you be thinking about people being on time? They just whatever. And, you do this, you keep it moving. But whenever I see people that are just excellent or very well or very good in one area, but in one area they're struggling, another area they're struggling, it always makes me wonder why. So I was thinking about this. Why are people late everywhere they go? And I know y'all like, SB, I know you ain't getting ready to do this. I am. So my thoughts was, I don't know. So I got to thinking about it. And y'all know me and God just went into our little place of conversation. Well, let me tell y'all one more thing before I go on. I'm one of those people that exercises, right? I'm going off to tell y'all, bring y'all back to where we are. But I don't go outside if it's under 50 degrees, right? I won't walk outside if it's under 50 degrees. So normally I go outside, I do my little exercise and I download. Me and God be together. He be just putting all the thoughts and everything in my head. And I just come back and I share these things with you. It's all this wisdom and knowledge that he, parts onto me and I just love it, right? But I ain't been able to have my download time, y'all, because it's cold outside. So I've been struggling a bit, right? A bit. But anyway, getting back to where I was. So today I had one of these times where I'm like, okay, let me and God finna download and figure this out, because this may be something that I need to share with individuals. And it brought me all the way back to the twisted mindsets are delaying their purpose. And y'all always know, we always talk about, I do anyway, ladies, when you go into these marriages, you go in with this single mindset and it's incorrect. We need to learn how to change our mindset and become marriage minded so we can be good wives and be a helpmate to our husbands. I say these things all the time, but I've never said to anybody, how do you do that? And I know often people are like, how do I do that? And we always talking about purpose. And most of the time people associate purpose with the job they work and their career paths and things of that nature, which is okay. But we've never gone into deeply what is purpose? How do I change my mindset? What is all of this stuff he's talking about? And, sometimes what we do is, and I'm gonna give you an example. Sometimes what we do, because I know a lot of men have complained, Kevin Samuels was one of them. He was like, we can't even get the Black woman to smile. So, we'll be more aware of ourselves and we'll be smiling, showing the pearly whites, just, doing our thing, trying to be nice and doing all these things. And then, after a time, we just fall back to the resting bee face. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of us do. And then, it's like, wow, all the efforts is over. And it was because our mindset didn't change. We were trying to play a game per se. We was trying to be different, but nobody ever told me about or told us how to actually make the change in the mindset. We was just going through the motion, right? And oftentimes what happens is we go through the motion, we get married, we go through the motions, and then about 3 to 5 years in, the husband look at us and be like, wow, she changed. She's not the same person. Again, we went through the motions. We pretended to be those wives that we were supposed to be, those helpmates, cleaning up the house, taking care of the husbands, whatever it was he needed. And then we got tired because it was all a chore. It was never who we were. And, that's what happened. So I'm just thinking, gosh, God, you got to help me with this, because we got to give somebody some instruction or let somebody know something can be done. It's not a lost cause, but first we got to make them aware. We got to make them aware of this. And this all came to be, y'all, because I've been witnessing an employee or two that just late every day. And you know what I mean by late? Like if you have to be at work at 8:00, right? You might come sliding in at 8:30, 8:15, 8:27. But when I say something to you, you'll come in at 7:50, or then it starts to dwindle off. You will start, you ain't really got much to say. All you offering up is traffic. And I'm thinking, traffic? What is that? Because me, the person I am, if traffic was something that was keeping me from being at work on time, I would just alter or adjust my, my leaving time or whatever it was I had to do. I would just adjust and make sure I got to work on time, because that's my presentation. That's who I am. And that's what I want to do. So I got to thinking, why is it that people can choose to just be late and it be supposedly okay, or even okay with them or okay with the people around them? So I got to thinking, I was like, God, this leads totally to your purpose. Totally to your purpose. Because when a person comes and works for us, I mean, we don't make them sign contracts or anything, but we're in an at-will state, so we can get rid of you if you want to or what have you. But you have made an agreement when you accepted the position that you made an agreement. You said, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to do. The job is this. I'm going to be here at this time and do these things. And that was the agreement, meaning you do this and you do that. I'll pay you for doing this and that. And we just had an agreement. But why is it that you can't keep up your part of the agreement? I'm not understanding. So in my thoughts, it started downloading. Everything started coming down. Okay. I started examining what was going on. And what was going on is I said, oh, so God shared with me that people who are not about their purpose are people who are selfish people. And instead of them getting up in the morning and being about their purpose of being to work, they funnel everything through themselves and what they want to do. Now, some of y'all gonna be like, SB, what you mean? What you mean? I don't understand what you're saying. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, in the morning, when I know I have something I need to do, when I get up in the morning, I pick that time of day that I need to get up in the morning so I can do that thing. Say as I need to be at work. I get myself up at a certain time where I can take a shower, eat, or whatever it is, but I need to leave my house at a certain time to be on that job at a certain time. But people that are selfish and not about their purpose, you know what they do? They tend to get up in the morning. They tend to think that, okay, well, I can do this, I can do that. And none of it has anything to do with their purpose. It has everything to do with them. So instead of them planning for the purpose, they plan for themselves. And then they tell themselves, oh, I'll get there when I get there, but they wouldn't dare admit to saying that I'll get there when I get there. They'll tell you they made all efforts possible to get to work on time, but they don't. They're really not. Their purpose of being on time and being agreement with the agreement that they made, it's null and void. They don't even think about it because all they're thinking about is themselves. I'm going to give you another example. Some of y'all may have experienced this in your younger days. Me, when I get up, when me and Mr. Boss used to go to church, when I get up on Sunday morning, get ready to go to church, I know I'm going to be there at early bird service. Early bird service starts at 8:00. I wouldn't dare get up and turn the TV on. You know why I wouldn't get up and turn the TV on? Because the TV and what it's playing has nothing to do with my purpose of getting to church on time and serving the Lord, right? So I wouldn't even go near it because I knew this. I was about purpose. I was about doing what I said I was going to do and what I've promised to do as a follower of Christ. I'm going to church in the morning. So I'm not going to get up and turn this TV on and be distracted by these things that my flesh loves. I'm going to go, I'm headed straight into that shower, putting that skirt on, and I'm going in that car. We're going to be at church 8:00 in the morning, and we're going to be fighting for a seat because y'all know that's how it is at Sunday morning service. But anyway, off of that. But I've noticed that people that are, like I said, selfishly minded people, they always tend to entertain things that, soothes their flesh. It helps them out. It makes them feel better before they can get started with being on their purpose. Again, like some people might get up and say, I'm hungry. I would ask the question, well, you got to be at work at 8:00. Did you give yourself enough time to be hungry? Did you? It don't matter because I'm hungry. I got to make sure this flesh is good before I do what I'm supposed to do as far as my purpose. That's how we think. And I'm telling you, God isn't pleased with that because, again, our purpose is tied in some cases directly with our career path and the things we're supposed to do. And all things we're supposed to be praising God. We're supposed to be fruitful whenever and wherever we are. There's a thing also called decent and in order. But we're not being good stewards when we are always being selfish. So it brings me to the wife. When I say single-minded and how do we get to where we're supposed to be? So first of all, we have to admit to ourselves, well, I'm late every day because I'm selfish. We have to sit back and look at it and be like, could that be true? Because I couldn't anticipate the accident on the freeway. It could always be an accident on the freeway. So I can't allow that to alter what I do. I can't, we can't predict that I might have a flat tire or, something could happen that's out of my control. Only thing I can control are the controllables. So if I want to be on my purpose, I need to be able to think of something outside of myself in order to get it done. And we're in a time now that all people think about is themselves. And these twisted mindsets is what's delaying them from their purpose. A lot of times it's women being wives. Sometimes it's women or men in their career path being leaders, being married, having children, all these things that keep us, all we're thinking about right now is our flesh and how we want to make it feel good or how we want to watch the show. We can never be about the purpose of our business because we're continuously being delayed by this twisted mindset. Now, how do you change your mindset? First, of course, you have to figure out who you are. You have to sit back and say, okay, and I just gave you a small example. It's something that everybody can relate to is being late for work. Can you all relate being late for work to being selfish? Has anybody ever thought about it? I'm late for work and it's that way because I'm selfish. Are we still in I ain't taking accountability for jack, that traffic, that broke down car, all these people that live in Atlanta, all these, are we still saying that's the reason why we're late? Are we even realizing that being at work at 8:04 when you're supposed to be there by 8:00 is late? What are we doing? And I'm just using this small example that everybody can relate to so y'all can relate to, because sometimes we have to just go that obvious in order to help someone. But the way that we have to figure this out is seeing exactly who we are, because it works in all types of situations. If it's somewhere where you're lacking in your purpose, and for this particular person, she's lacking in her purpose of ever achieving more money, leadership role, a promotion, anything that would give her more benefits in this position. She's lacking that, but she's a very good person. very good person, actually a very good worker once once she's there. But the part about her selfishness and her twisted mindset of all these different reasons she's given herself for not showing up on time is what's keeping her from the purpose. Because right now, in the mode that she's in, she's not being fruitful at all. She's not being that example of Christ. She's not. She's being selfish. Yes. So once we've learned who we are, or once we self-examine ourselves, like I would say, self-reflect, I'm talking about do a deep dive in who you are. Question all the things that you show up. How can I say? You show up less in. All those things that people, this is what I say in interviews sometimes. Have you ever been corrected by your previous manager or owner for any reason? Have they ever corrected you for any reason? And they be like, no, I ain't never really know anything. Were you late for work? Were you out of uniform? Another one. And I'm only using our company because I'm just don't want to blame anybody particularly. I'm gonna give you another one. Another problem or issue that we come across a lot is being in uniform. The word uniform means something. One, form, meaning that we all should look alike at some point in time, not physically look alike, but we should all be in uniform. We should all wear the same things. Now, this is making sense, but I hope y'all are taking it from what I'm saying and applying it to your life. But I'm just using things to not use other things. But I'm saying uniform in this case. So we'll say everybody's supposed to be uniform, and we'll give the uniform to them, all the way down to the weapon you're supposed to carry on duty, all the way down to the boots you're supposed to wear and everything. And we'll write it down. You're supposed to do this, and this. And everybody seems to understand, oh, this looks nice, Captain. Everything is great, right? But then the next day or 1 week later, we'll have officers showing up with big, thick black bead bracelets on. We even had one time come to work with some turquoise color hair. And we looking at each other and like, what is this? And I'm thinking, was it something that we missed? And I'm thinking, okay, so what was it that said, okay, it was okay to do turquoise colored hair when everything around you, your manual, me, your supervisor, everybody's saying natural color hair, uniform, compliance. This is what we've been saying. What is it that would make you think that this will be okay? And again, it goes back to this twisted mindset is delaying their purpose. And they would have no answer. They would just be like, well, I wanted it. This is what I want. And well, I'm just going to have to quit. Okay, that's fine. You just totally lost the idea of what you're supposed to be doing. You're delaying your purpose. So I say all that because I got some videos I want to share with you. And they approve colored hair now. No, they don't. Not where I work. You might work for some people, but as an officer, hey, well, you know what? I'm wrong. Dating, marriage support. Hello, how are you? I just read your comment. As an officer working for our company, your natural colored hair is the color hair you show up with. We do not approve strawberry, turquoise, any other colored hair while on duty because it's not representative of an officer. See, that brings me back again to this twisted mindset. And this is not about you. I'm just answering the comment. I'm just using your comment for an example. It's a very twisted mindset to think that once I've said as a person in authority that, you know what, I need you to show up with natural colored hair, that you would show up with pink hair. It's very twisted. So now I'm supposed to do what? So it is definitely delaying their mindsets. But I want to show you, we're going to bring it a little closer to home. And I'm going to show you a couple of videos, and we're going to talk about each video. And I'm going to show you how this thing is mostly a selfish response or a selfish person that is acting. And then we're going to see if we can figure out how we can get out this mindset and make some changes in our life to become better people. Because ultimately, that's the goal. All right. So go ahead, Mr. Boss.
In my body, I have a $150,000 body. I have everything that you could possibly ask for as far as brains, beauty, ambition.
And just to be clear, what's a $150,000 body?
4 BBLs, 2 breast augmentations, Botox, lip injections, and then I had the fat buckle removed out of my cheeks.
And how young are you?
28.
What age do you want to get married?
I don't necessarily have a time restraint on myself. I feel like God's gonna make me cross paths with my future husband when that time is right.
And how convinced are you that a man is attracted to an ambitious boss babe or a nice, compliant, beautiful girl that doesn't give him headaches? What do you think most men like that would prefer?
I'm not looking for what most men or most
Well, you
women
should
are
be, because you
looking
want
like.
that kind of guy, so you should be.
What do you mean? No, I'm looking
So
for
I'm
like
asking-
that 1 in a million where you're looking at like, power couples, Jay-Z, Beyonce.
So that guy, how much is he worth?
100 million.
Okay, so that guy that's worth $100 million, what do you think that guy wants?
I think they want me.
What he
They're
thinks.
constantly pursuing me. What do you mean?
Why aren't you married to one yet, though?
Because I don't want to be married to one yet.
You do realize there might be people in the comments calling you absolutely delusional right now.
That's
Do you
fine.
realize that?
I don't care what they have to say.
Okay, so did y'all hear all of the twistedness? Is that a word? Twisted mindset that this young lady had. She said she's had 5. I might have to have Mr. Boss pay us again, but I think she said she has 5 BBLs, y'all. And then she went on to say that she's going to position herself for this man, her husband, this $100 million man, just to come and find her so they can be a power couple. And then she immediately took offense when the young man said to her, that's basically, he said, that's ridiculous thinking. And I don't care what they think. You see how twisted her mindset is, because this is not a representation of a wife, but because there are men that are seeking this woman out, she thinks that this is the requirements to be a wife. And she's hoping that God will align her in a way that her husband, the $100 million man, would see all her qualities of what? Right? So everything she laid out, she talked about her chin. She talked about she's had 5 BBLs. I think she had maybe 2 breast augmentations. She's done it all to be a perfect package. But she did nothing about working on her inner self, because all she wanted to do was do the exterior. And then once all that is complete, she now wants to say, well, I think God will take over and definitely give me the man that I want. And who is that? He's $100 million man. Y'all, $100 million man. And we can be the power couple. This is what this young lady said. Now, I think she went on to say, or she did say, that she was 27 years old or something to that effect. And then she was asked, so when are you planning on being married? And that's when God came into play. Right? She's done nothing at all to align with what God has told her she needed to be as a wife. But she's done everything externally in order to, in her mind, become one. And it's all about the way she looks. This was all about her. She said nothing that would become that would be an asset for her husband, for a man to even want to be with her, besides the fact that she's had 5 BBLs, y'all. Why would you need to have 5 BBLs? This woman, to me, sounds like she really needs to lay on the couch, y'all. 5 BBLs, 2 augmentations. I want to listen to that again, because this is a lot.
I've invested in my body. I have a $150,000 body. I have everything that you could possibly ask for as far as brains, beauty, ambition.
And just to be clear, what's a $150,000 body?
4 BBLs, 2 breast augmentations, Botox, lip injections, and then I had the fat buckle removed out of my cheeks.
And how young are you?
28.
What age do you want to get married?
I don't necessarily have a time restraint on myself. I feel like God's gonna make me cross paths with my future husband when that time is right.
And how convinced are you that a man is attracted to an ambitious boss babe or a nice, compliant, beautiful girl that doesn't give him headaches? What do you think most men like that would prefer?
I'm not looking for what most men or most
Well, you
women
should
are
be, because you
looking
want
like.
that kind of guy, so you should be.
What do you mean? No, I'm looking
So
for
I'm
like
asking-
that 1 in a million where you're looking at like, power couples, Jay-Z, Beyonce.
So that guy, how much is he worth?
100 million.
Okay, so that guy that's worth $100 million, what do you think that guy wants?
I think they want me.
What he
They're
thinks.
constantly pursuing me. What do you mean?
Why aren't you married to one yet, though?
Because I don't want to be married to one yet.
You do realize there might be people in the comments calling you absolutely delusional right now.
That's
Do you
fine.
realize that?
I don't care what they have to say.
All right. So yeah, she has a $150,000 body. She's very ambitious. She did say that. And she has brains also. But none of that was connecting at the time when she spent $150,000 on the 4 BBLs, the 2 breast augmentations. And she said she got something removed from her chin line. This is interesting. Her twisted mindset told her that she needed to do this to her body, to her exterior, because men want this. And then she's going to check in with God really soon when it's time for her to be married. And he's going to make sure she crossed paths with this $100 million guy, because the average guy is not what she's looking for. She's looking for the $100 million man. See, again, we're talking about this twisted mindset, y'all. You see how twisted she's become. And she's still calling on the name of God sometime in her life. Once this works and once this is done and that hadn't worked and I'm tired of working, basically that's what she said. If the $150,000 that I've put into my body, if that doesn't work, but then again, she turned around and said, but they're interested. They're automatically following me. They're looking for me now. And he asked, well, why are you not married? I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. Y'all, she's lying. She telling a lie.
They liars,
yeah.
bro. They liars.
She lying. Her mindset is so twisted. It is playing games with her. She's telling herself that she's the perfect woman and she's ready to be married. Well, don't let me say that. She's not ready to be married yet, but all the stars are in a line. The men are calling. They want exactly what she has, but she's still not married. So her brain is now playing games on her. This is what this twisted and this selfish mindset will do for you. She doesn't have the ability to think outside of herself, because if she did, she could hear what the young man was saying and she would stop and okay, and just listen, because she's done too much. In my opinion, she's done too much. At this point, I do think she needs to open herself up to this average man who she says is not calling up on her. Who are these $100 million men? And are they already married? You want to ask yourself all these questions, but this is what I mean by twisted mindset. She was an excellent example. So I hope y'all understand where I'm going with this now. Started with the being late for work because I want to deal with average people. We want people like myself and other women to, get our everyday, because it could really, really get twisted just like her. If someone could have told her earlier on, because I know she had some things she was doing earlier on before the $150,000 in surgery that she spent. If someone could have got a hold of her and said, you know what, you're selfish. You don't need to do this, this, and this. Now, I'm not talking about the surgeries, whatever it was, then maybe she could have been a different person. She could have definitely been a different person. So anyway, let's take another look at another one.
Recently who tried to take me on a date, and he's like, yo, I only take women on coffee dates. It's an immediate no, lose my number for me, because I appreciate
It's taking to Starbucks?
and it has
like one coffee spot in the world with Dunkin' Donuts?
It has nothing to do with how much money you plan to spend on me. It has everything to do with you telling me that I typically take women on dates. I'm not a typical experience, baby, and I need you to see that out the gate. Even if that's what you typically do, don't tell me that that's your typical behavior. I'm not interested in nothing typical. I'm a 1%er in all around, in what I earn and what I do. Don't tell me about no typical shit. Did you do your due diligence? There's nothing typical about how I live my life. I don't put anything typical out there. Why would you tell me about what you typically do? Go ahead and typically lose my number. That's not what I'm interested in. Now, you could have taken me on that coffee date and you could have made that feel real exclusive for me, and I would have been happy about that. I don't need to know what you do for everybody else. I'm not that.
All right. So here we go again. Another twisted mindset, still very selfish, but we're going to go a little further with her. The first young lady, I didn't see that she had so much of an ego. She had an air about herself. This is true. But this young lady right here, her ego is so big. Y'all, you probably couldn't get her into a room with too many other people. You couldn't. head is so large. So she knows nothing. Everything she's doing and the way she's speaking now, she's operating outside of the will of God. This is the way that she's speaking. She's a young woman, a nice looking young woman. And from what I'm understanding, it was a man that asked her or told her, you know what, typically on the first date, I just take people out on a coffee date. Now, to me being the woman that I am with the ability to have God in my life and humbleness, I would say, you know what? That's cool because guess what? He's taking me on a coffee date. I ain't got to worry about him being the killer. You know, I ain't got to worry about him trying to rub my knee because we're out in public. He's actually thinking. But this young lady right here took offense to it because he's used the word typical. He didn't say you typical. He said, this is what I do typically. And I would be like, you know what, to make everybody feel comfortable, this is what you do. But then guess what? She didn't even allow herself the second, third, or fourth date to become special. She came in the door special, but she did it in a way that made her less than special. She became to me a tyrant with that fast talking, that condescending talking, that all that she just did. We're going to listen to it again. All of that what do I call it sometimes? Just jiviness. You know, where's the lady in all of this? You got it all together, but you don't even know how to respond or when to shut up. Twisted thinking. She made what that young man said that he does for himself all about her. All about her. He said, I typically take women on coffee dates. And that became something sinful. That became a curse to her because I'm not that. She is so insecure that there is some deep issues there. Now, I'm not saying we're going to just kick her to the curb, throw rocks at her, any of that. I want her and women like her to have some help because the twisted mindsets are delaying their purpose. Dr. Steele says $150,000 of fake parts to try to get a real man. She doesn't realize that now only she is wasting her money. She is risking her life. Dr. Steele, who was there with her? Who was her no girl? Oh, I got one better. Where was her sisterhood? Where were the sisters that needed to tell her, baby girl, what are you doing? You can't have 4 BBLs. You're going under surgery for that. And guess what? Y'all know she went to 4 different doctors. I mean, what is there to repair 4 different times on your BBL? Y'all know what a BBL is, right? Y'all know 2024, everybody knows what a BBL is. But I'm going to tell y'all just in case. But it's a Brazilian butt lift. You ain't got but one butt to lift 4 times. Are y'all saying that 3 doctors made a mistake? Oh my God. That's hard. That's hard. So anyway, let's go back to this young lady. I want to hear this again because she really thinks she's getting somebody told, y'all. She really thinks she is reading, she's reading somebody. And it's just sound to me so corn bean, just not ladylike. Just shut up. That type, if you was with her. But where's her sisterhood at? Where are her girlfriends? Where are her friends that would tell her to be quiet? Where was the other girl's friends at when she had 4 BBLs? Did nobody tell her nothing? They won't let you come and go by yourself. I don't think. They just, I support you, girl. I support you. Really? Like Dr. Steele said, she could have died. She could have died. That means 3 doctors made a mistake on her butt alone. Then she also went back and got something removed out of her chin. I hate to go back, but he just took me back there. But anyway, she got something removed out of her chin too. No friends around? Nobody? She spent $150,000 to get all this stuff in place. Now, y'all do know this is just transferring of fat, lifting things up. I don't know about her breasts. She said she had 2 of them. They wasn't looking very perky to me, but I don't want y'all to call me no boob watcher. But no, it just seems like to me that I don't know if y'all notice or not, but the older you get, gravity sets in. They're going, she might need to get them lifted, but she said augmentations. That means she added something. She changed something. And nobody, you know, you need to have that 2 times. Now, what I'm understanding, you have to do that every 10 years because it will, you know, because your body ages. But guess what, y'all? She ain't but 28 years old. So that means she'd have had to start at 18 and just recently had one at 28. What do y'all think? Do you think that's when it happened? I don't think so. So again, we have another doctor that made a mistake or was just not right. But again, we're going to be off of her because we already know her twisted mindset. Her mindset has totally gone haywire on her, but she would never think of anything about anybody else but herself. She couldn't as of right now. Now, T. Shaw, you made a very good point because she would never think about the children, the family. Actually, I've even met women who wouldn't get pregnant because they didn't want the pregnant belly. I've heard it's been a lot, but they were already married. So I'm thinking, husband, where was you at when this woman was sharing with you that she was so vain that she couldn't have a baby? Where were you? Because now you 5 years in and you pressuring this woman to have a baby and she done already told you she didn't want the belly. And she's at her ideal weight down, got her ideal body, and now you want a baby? Where were you? Oh, now she's changed. Oh, God. Wake up. But anyway, let's go back to this young lady. I need to hear y'all thoughts.
Who tried to take me on a date and he's like, yo, I only take women on coffee dates. It's an immediate no, lose my number for me because I appreciate.
You taking the Starbucks?
And it has
like one coffee spot in the world with Dunkin' Donuts?
It has nothing to do with how much money you plan to spend on me. It has everything to do with you telling me that I typically take women on dates. I'm not a typical experience, baby, and I need you to see that out the gate. Even if that's what you typically do, don't tell me that that's your typical behavior. I'm not interested in nothing typical. I'm a 1%er in all around, like in what I earn and what I do. Don't tell me about no typical shit. Did you do your due diligence? There's nothing typical about how I live my life. I don't put anything typical out there. Why would you tell me about what you typically do? Go ahead and typically lose my number. That's not what I'm interested in. Now, you could have taken me on that coffee date and you could have made that feel real exclusive for me. And I would have been happy about that. I don't need to know what you do for everybody else. I'm not that.
So here we go once again. There's nothing typical about me. I don't even put that out there. Somebody need to take her a picture and send it to her in her mailbox. They need to take her picture and just send it because she is, again, her mindset is so twisted. Her ego is so large. She can't see beyond herself. She has no idea that this behavior that she's displaying is typical, especially now. I mean, if you ain't heard yet that the Black woman is so quarrelsome, which I don't agree with, but guess what? When you have people out here like this right here, she's kind of making the point. Oh, you have Black women are not submissive. We're not humble. We don't appreciate nothing. Really? She's making the point. We are typical, especially you. But she don't even get it. It's very twisted. Her mindset is that because she has achieved something, because she's a 1%er. A 1% of what? What are you saying, young lady? You by yourself still. But it's twisted. We're not understanding. The mindset is so twisted that we can't even see ourselves. Selfish, ego. And I hate to talk about our ladies like this because I'm trying to give you a solution within. But first of all, I need somebody to see themselves in these women if you need to. I need somebody to agree with this woman and say to herself, you know what? I think that might be me. Y'all be honest. If this is you all, if y'all think anywhere, and it may not be the same situation, but if you're sitting back thinking, I ain't going to the Cheesecake Factory because you're her, and you're very typical. Yeah, you are. You're her. You're very typical. You might just be on the low with it. But see, one of your purposes in life, if it's not to be a married woman, it should just be to be a good person and be fruitful. And if you don't have a relationship with God, you need to pick up one. He's all around us, right? You need to pick up a relationship with God. I should say align with God and be a woman of God. That and also a mother and a wife. And if you don't want to be married, you could be a single woman. You know what? Okay, be a single woman, but be the best single woman you can be. Don't be typical. So she's thinking this is the end thing right here. This is end. This is how it needs to be, just this way. And it's not. It's not, lady. And see, guess what else? Let me make sure I let y'all know. This is not about a man. This is about ladies being accountable for who they are and their mindsets that are twisted. I'm talking to women right now. I hope and pray that there is a man somewhere talking to a man about his twisted mindset and the things he gets himself into. I'm speaking to our ladies because we got to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Because from what the 2 videos we've played so far, I need y'all to follow these 2 videos. Both of these women are looking for husbands. The first one said she was actually looking for a husband and she hopes God puts her in the right positions for them to cross paths. This particular one right here, she didn't say the word husband, but she definitely is calling upon a man to pick her. Definitely is calling upon a man. And I hope y'all picked up on that. Now, if I presented this to them, both of them would probably say, I don't need no man. I don't want no man, but they would be lying. They would be lying because they do.
They liars, bro. They liars.
The first young lady definitely said, well, hopefully I'll be in a position where my husband can cross our paths would cross. This one right here, she just doesn't want a typical man. She's a 1%er and nothing about her she's ever presented was typical, but she's not seeing herself right now. And I am. And everything about her is very typical right now. Very typical. She's actually doing men a favor at this moment, which I hope this can change if she can self-reflect and see herself for who she really is right now. Because we're trying to change mindsets. We don't want to no longer have twisted mindsets. We want to align ourselves with God's and be the best versions of ourselves as women. And we want to be married. We want to be assets to our men. No matter what we got, we want to be assets for our men if that's what we want to do. And both of these women have exhibited that is what they want to do. Antonia Watkins, hello, sir. How are you? That's Donnie. Who is Donnie? She's 42. Oh, wow. You know her. Go tell Donnie. A multi-millionaire and is a business coach. She helps scale your business to another level. So that's how her mind works. Yeah. And Donnie, probably you answer it. I don't want to take for granted. Is Donnie married? Because it sounds like to me she was looking for a man to come and find her also. So Antonio, can you help us with that? Is she married? And thank you so much for your $5 super chat. And again, I don't care if she is all of that. If she is training her women that is looking, you said business coach. Okay. She helps scale your business to a business coach. I've never heard of a business coach. Okay. But thank you so much, Antonia, for that information. Now, this is very typical behavior. Very typical. Then she goes on to say that she would have went on the coffee date, but such and such and such and such and such. Yeah, this is a very twisted mindset. And I'm assuming that this is a person that would, see marriage as being a business. Again, I don't see marriage as a business. I see marriage as a covenant. I want someone that I can become one with, and I don't have to worry about all these money woes and things that people, take in so much consideration after they've gotten married. And I want to tell y'all about that. I'm going to take a little break on the lady mindset for just a moment. I got to tell y'all something. On Sunday, on Hardly Initiated, was this Sunday? Yes, I think it was. On Hardly Initiated, they talked about, they had 2 divorce lawyers on there, 2 ladies. And they were giving the women the game on getting divorced. And I have to let y'all know, I love Hardly Initiated, but this particular show was just darn near disgusting to me. And it was very well done. Now, don't get me wrong. The guys did their thing, and the guests were great. I'm not going to lie. They were great guests. They were very smart ladies. Shout out to them. They were very smart, very wise. Wait a minute, let me say this right. Very smart and educated women. And it was a good show as far as the production of it and all that. But the topic itself was disgusting to me because they were discussing divorcing. And we're in a day and time now that divorce talk is terrible. I don't think anybody should even be talking about it, but I know it's real, y'all. So just look over me. Look over me. Say what you want. But the show was about giving women the game on divorce. And it hurt my heart, y'all, because it's exactly what the title says. It was giving the women the game on divorce. And I just think marriage is such an important thing. It's the most important relationship you will have or should have outside of your relationship with God. So to reduce it to being a game to me is disgusting. And the next part about it is I've never had a divorce before. And my husband and I have vowed not to discuss divorce, especially not at the beginning of our marriage, which we had 28 years ago. Now, did we fight and fuss and argue? Let me take that back. Did we fuss and argue? Yes. Fight? No, we haven't done that. But my husband and I were very much on the same plane in marriage, right? But the part that this bothers me so much about this divorce talk is that it is a game. But what's real and what I know, and I have not yet experienced it, don't ever want to experience it, but I can imagine when you are married and you're in a covenant marriage with someone, you are building every day, or you should be building every day to become one with that person. That means I'm the left side, Mr. Boss is the right side, or I'm the right side, he's the left side, whatever. We're becoming one, meaning we are moving in sync. We are on one accord. I'm respecting him and submitting to him, and he's loving me. He's being patient. He's being kind. He's being true. He's being faithful. We have a commitment. We have a covenant with God. And that is what our concentration is on as far as our relationship in a marriage. We're the example. We're building. We want to be pleasing to God because that's the covenant. That is what we said we wanted, to commitment, to be faithful. And that is the way our life is going to look. And we're aligning that way. And we both agreed that this is the way we're going to do it. But then all of a sudden, one day I wake up and I'm like, oh, you disgust me, man. I don't want to be with you anymore. And then all of a sudden, can y'all just imagine this? I'm going to be very graphic. Then all of a sudden, I just start tearing off the right side of me. I just start tearing it away. Just tearing it all away, just leaving scratches and scars and everywhere. I'm just tearing it away because the right side of me no longer exists anymore because I no longer want it. I don't want to be a part of it no more. I don't want it. I don't want my right side, is no longer good for me. It's not good for me anymore. I've gone all these years, 28 years, and I've had my right side, my left side. And, I realize the eyebrows are different or what have you. I realize the differences in it. I'm a little off. My right side is, taller than my left side and all these things I realize. But now I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. And I'm pulling it apart. I'm getting rid of my right side. In reality, I'm doing it. And nobody ever mentioned in this whole 2-hour show about how painful and how much of a death that would be to get rid of your whole right side. Because now I'm getting a divorce. Nobody ever mentioned the gravity of it, how serious it was. All I heard was, well, how much money am I going to get? How should I set it up that I get all get the kids and keep the house? All of that. Nobody even said, well, it could be a good idea that you all might need to go to counseling to get divorced also, because some of y'all went to counseling to get married. So maybe y'all need to go to counseling to get divorced. Nobody came up. Nobody had anything else to offer. But can I have this house? Can I get 50%? How I need to sneak in, what I need to do with the money. Don't let him pay no rent. Don't let him pay no mortgage payments. It was all a game. Scheming on how to break each other's heart. It was crazy to me. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, this is a person that I've been with for 28 years of my life. Are you telling me I wake up one day and I no longer care anything about this person to the point that I want to take everything I can from him, or my life with him is just now a game and it's whoever wins?
Dearly beloved,
it was devastating to me. And it was just all fun and games. It was laughter. Everybody's loving it. The last good man in Jersey says 95% of divorcees say they could have fixed their marriages, but they didn't want to do the work. You know what? The last man, how are you doing tonight? Half of the problem is nobody is giving anyone any options. First thing we do is we try to give them the game. So this is what you need to start doing. You need to take the kids out of that school and you need to put them in another neighborhood school, and you need to start putting some money away to see how much money you can have. And then in a year, be in a position to refinance this house in your name so you can keep the house. This is what we do. We never say to you, look, you've been with that man 15 years. He's a part of you now. Y'all got children you need to think about. Go make this thing work. What exactly happened? Ain't nobody talking like that. It's break up, beat them down, and get over it and get what you can. Win, win, win. So again, we had these twisted mindsets, and they're destroying or delaying the purpose. Because the purpose of a marriage, y'all, a marriage that has kids, the man is covering his wife. The wife is his helpmate. We got to figure out. See, listen, if I was a divorce lawyer, I would lay out the blueprint. Yes, I would. And I would go over that blueprint and I would say, listen, where you fail? Where did you fail? Have you not been a helpmate? Man, have you not been covering? You ain't been ahead. You haven't been offering the provision. Where did you fail? I need to know. It's time to, figure this out. It's time to have some self-reflection. I'm not letting you walk away. Where did you fail? Call it out. Well, I hung out with the girls, so I haven't been the best helpmate. Okay, so it's some correction that needs to be done. That is your husband. Respect him. Have you been respecting him? Well, he lost his job and he ain't worked in 90 days. He ain't worked in 90 days, but y'all been married 15 years. You couldn't carry the man for 15 years, or you couldn't contribute or be the helpmate for 90 days. He's been doing it for 15 years. Maybe the man tired. Don't you love him? Don't you respect him? Beloved. What is going on? Who are you listening to? What is your influences? Let's check this thing out. Let's ask the questions. But no, it's all a game. It's all a game. We just twisted mindset, just delaying all purpose. Just acting out of order, y'all. It was just so crazy to hear the things. Nobody ever once mentioned how much pain or like a death there is for a relationship like that, a marriage relationship to be dissolved. So anyway, Clement, hey Clement, how you doing? SB, what if you don't have children together? Does it make it right just to divorce because you are not happy? Absolutely not. Clement, I don't believe in that temporary happiness stuff. I would like to have something, and I do have something that I've invested my life to, which is my husband, God, of course. And he's not a perfect person. I'm not either. We don't even know. You can't even tap into the things that could happen to us. The influences that we could possibly have. We don't live in a perfect world. Things could happen along the way all the time. That's why I always say, don't put your marriage on the ledge. Don't put it on auto. Make sure you are pursuing your wife or pursuing your husband to find out, hey, are you good? Where are we? Are you lacking? But I notice so often we don't have examples of marriages that actually do that. The blueprint tells us to do these things, be patient, love your wife, be kind to her. It tells you all these things, respect your husband, submit to your husband, but nobody's ever there to go over these things to tell you exactly how that looks. If I signed up to marry my husband, I am now my husband is now my purpose. I'm his helpmate. God told us that way back in Genesis in the beginning. That never changed. Y'all, I know Jesus came on the scene, but the things he told us in the Old Testament still exists. We're still responsible for those things. He sent us Jesus because he knew we was a bunch of failures, but he didn't say don't try it out, or I'm good with it. See, so often we think that God is so good with the stuff that we do because we do it. No. He's not good with a man having more than one wife either. You do it. There are men out there that has more than one wife and polygamous relationships. There's a whole lot of sexual immorality that is going on, all that stuff. And some people are calling it quite normal because everybody's participating with it. Remember the other day, 99.9% of everybody is having sex and about 90% of them are reckless. The other 9%, they're responsible enough to have the child. We do all these things. And we just think that God is okay with it because everybody's doing it. Oh, he'll get the message. No, he's not pleased, y'all. He's not. It all depends on how you want to live your life. But I say you twist it in your mindset for thinking it's okay and you're delaying your purpose. You're delaying it. This stuff is not okay. And then I have people all the time challenging me in my comment section. Tell me where it is in the Bible where one man and one woman. Come on, y'all. You don't really that ain't really the conversation you want to have, is it? Someone telling me where God says it's not good to have more than one wife. Oh, David did it. Do y'all know all the things that King David did? King David was not a good example. Oh, he was a man after God's heart. That's not what I'm saying. That's between him and God. But guess what? God wasn't pleased. We didn't get that part. He had a man killed, y'all, because he had his woman pregnant. That is some stuff that we do today. It's just an instructional manual on how things are today. That's why it confirms itself all the time. He said to us what it is we need to do. We refuse to do it. Our mindsets are so twisted. We're so selfish and so much about ourselves and what we want that we can't even get to work on time. And that's a small thing. I brought it to a small thing so I could hope somebody could relate to it, because it gets bigger than that. Because you can actually apply this stuff to the bigger decisions you have in your life. If you just take a moment. And I didn't mean to go this far off right now, because I got a whole nother video that I want y'all to see. And I want y'all to see it. So here goes the next video. And this is going to be kind of crazy, because y'all going to be like, SB, that ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, it does. I just want y'all to listen and pay attention.
See this a lot, an angry confrontation between, of all people, a doctor and his patient.
Go to the ER and wait for 9 hours.
Okay, you can get out of her.
Out of my office.
I will
now.
Jessica Stipe was suffering from a severe case of the flu and waited 1 hour and 15 minutes as her symptoms grew worse.
I made an appointment at 6:30 because I knew that being out of my bed an hour and 45 minutes.
We've already been working on you. We've done a urine test on you. I've seen you.
You came in and said, I'm going to check your pee.
Does that take 3 seconds, you think?
I don't know how long.
Do you want to be seen or not?
I want to go home and get in my bed.
Then fine, get the hell out. Get your money and get the hell out.
I did. But that
See you
right
later.
there is.
I'm livid. I'm livid. And it's not even, it's the way he spoke to us that was completely unethical and uncalled for.
Jessica's 16-year-old daughter, Courtney, recorded the drama at an after-hours medical clinic in Gainesville, Florida.
You can get out of her.
Out of my office.
I will
now.
All right, guys, did y'all see that? I want to play this one more time, because I need y'all to listen to the details, because I want to make sure we got it right. I want to say that she actually waited an hour and 15 minutes, but I want to make sure I got it right. So let's listen once more.
You don't see this a lot, an angry confrontation between, of all people, a doctor and his patient.
Go to the ER and wait for 9 hours.
Okay, you can get out of her.
Out of my office.
I will
now.
Jessica Stipe was suffering from a severe case of the flu and waited 1 hour and 15 minutes as her symptoms grew worse.
I made an appointment at 6:30 because I knew that being out of my bed an hour and 45 minutes.
We've already been working on you. We've done a urine test on you. I've seen you.
You came in and said, I'm going to check your pee.
Does that take 3 seconds, you think?
I don't know how long.
Do you want to be seen or not?
I want to go home and get in my bed.
Then fine, get the hell out. Get your money and get the hell out.
I did. But that
See you
right
later.
there is.
I'm livid. I'm livid. And it's not even, it's the way he spoke to us that was completely unethical and uncalled for.
Jessica's 16-year-old daughter, Courtney, recorded the drama at an after-hours medical clinic in Gainesville, Florida.
You can get out of her.
Out of my office.
I will
now.
All right, guys. So I hope y'all heard all that. See, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. And I'm not even saying Doc was wrong, but listen to this. This lady went to the ER, or went to an after hours situation. ER. She didn't go to the ER. She went to an after hours clinic, and she was waiting an hour and 15 minutes. And the doctor came to see her. Now, apparently, when the doctor came to see her, she gave him all types of attitude. Now, again, I don't know what Doc had went through that day, and neither does she. But Doc didn't want to do it anymore. He was done. He basically told her, "Do you want to be seen?" The answer could have been yes or no. But she says, "I want to go home." He said, "Get your and get out." Now, this is where we're going, y'all. This is where we're going, because people don't care about you anymore, right? Now, don't get me wrong. She was wrong. Because if she had the flu and she was feeling that bad and, oh, you know what? Why you can't leave controversy alone sometime in your life? You can't even leave it alone when you're sick. She was sick, supposedly. Very ill. And she just couldn't wait an hour and 15. What was she going to be doing at home, y'all? What do you do at home when you're sick? You lay in the bed, you're still waiting, right? Because you're not getting what you need. You're not getting those antibiotics, so you're not getting that instruction you need. So either she was going to wait at home and be sick an extra hour and 15 minutes, or she was going to come to the clinic and be sick and wait for him an hour and 15 minutes. But now he's here to see her. And instead of just going along with the program, she decided to give him what she thought he needed, a little dressing down, I suppose. I don't know. But Doc said no. And then she says, "I'm livid." That is unethical. No, see, dear, this is where it's going. This is what we're going to get. Nobody's ethical anymore. Morals are gone. Nobody cares for you. That privilege you think you live under is gone. Or maybe I should say fastly disappearing. Okay. So this is crazy to me because guess what? She got a twisted mindset that she was special. And like he told her, oh, really? Won't you go to the ER and wait 9 hours? Everybody done been to the emergency room. Y'all know y'all done waited 9 hours, 13 hours, almost darn near 24, waiting to be seen in the ER for a cold. God, especially if you had them kids. You take them kids running nose, had to sit up there in that ER for many hours. And she had to wait 1 hour and 15 minutes. And she had this amount of drama to give that doctor. Now, remember, that doctor was somebody that was supposed to be helping her. This is the kind of behavior you give to the person that's going to be giving you some pills and telling you to take something, telling you to drink something. That's what you do, y'all. Not smart. This is not smart. But her twisted mindset told her she was in control. And she was going to have it the way she needed to have it, or somebody needed to hear about it. So I'm sure she wrote all kind of letters to the board of the doctors about what he did. But you know what happened? Nothing. This is a grown up profession right here, ma'am. You can't call the boss. He is the boss. So y'all, this is what I'm talking about. This is so twisted. An hour and 15 minutes. And she was livid. I thought you was sick. Still probably didn't get the care she needed. Or maybe she went over to the ER, like he said, and waited the 9 hours, like he said. But he said, get that out my office, is what he said. And guess what, y'all? The man was tired. He's frustrated. But my point I'm trying to make by this, y'all, this is the direction that we're going. You're going to start seeing a whole lot more of this. Because quite naturally, the world is just tired. We're just tired. Everybody's fed up. Everybody's upset. Everybody got an attitude. And I twisted the ones that are running around here with the twisted mindsets that you're special, that it's all about you. The selfishness is just going through, right? Coming in and out. I'm selfish. It's about me. What I say, I can't wait no hour and a half because I'm sick, and an hour and 15 minutes. That's too long. All of that. I made my appointment at 6:30 because I knew I needed to be back in my bed by 7:45. Really? All of that. Y'all, where's the humbleness? I know we don't have it now because the presence of God is not something that is very present in our lives anymore, So we're just trying to handle it on our own. And this is what it looks like when you handle it on your own. You look foolish. Because guess what? Doc good. He got the notepad that controls all the pain medicine, the antibiotics, all that. He's the one got the scribble scrabble that can get you what you want because he good. You gonna leave there. Actually, he gonna put you out. And you can't come back no more. And he's still going to be good. He's going to go on to the next patient. Really, y'all? Come on. But this is what I mean by twisted mindsets. Why would she even think that she was that special? Why? I have no idea. I have none. Just the 15-year-old daughter, 16-year-old daughter is the one taking she was the one taking the video. They were going for a case. Oh, you think? There's no case here. The man didn't do anything. She refused his care after a moment. She said she didn't want it. He said, do you want to be seen or not? And she said, I want to be at home in my bed. He said, well, get the H out. Y'all heard it. And that's what you do. You get the H out. If you don't like what I'm doing, you don't here and get out. Right? So here we go. We have talked about it, right? We have talked about the twisted mindsets, and we have brought it down to the smallest example of being late on a regular basis on how selfish that is. Now, I got to leave y'all with a way to correct this problem. I got to give y'all some sort of solution. And we already said that the first step to this is to first identify that we actually have a problem. And I know most people will not associate being late to being selfish. They won't. They'll blame it on everything going on in the world and never bring it back to themselves. But you got to bring it back to who you are. The selfish, twisted mindset and this ego-driven mindset that we are now as women finding ourselves in is all about selfishness. And in the way we can change it, the only way that I see that this could be changed is to build a relationship with God. You have to align yourself with God and to get into your purpose. Because once you get into your purpose, you will realize that this world is bigger than you. And right now, we're not understanding that this world is bigger than us. We think it's all about us. See, once you think and realize that it's bigger than you, than your name, who you are, your presentation, it changes. You begin to say to yourself, okay, listen, I want to be seen as a certain type of person. I want people to know me as this person. I want to make this type of decision. I want to show up this way. And then things start to change because you're seeing now, oh, I don't like the way that looks. Now I want to be this way. So you internally start to change things about yourself because now you're on purpose. You now realize you have an example and you want to show up a certain way. In order to do that, I got to make certain changes. But it doesn't work if you don't self-reflect, because you'll continuously tell yourself that somebody else did it or that didn't apply to me. You know, some don't even think it's important to wear an iron shirt. Oh, it definitely is, because if you want to be an example, if you want to be like this woman is that that was on here talking about the coffee date. Oh, SBU Live, me myself. I have just gifted 10 SBU Live memberships. So listen, normally when we gift those, the system picks and chooses who those actually go to. So I hope the next time I see y'all, I see a little white SBU Live beside your name. So hopefully it's you. But getting back to what I was saying, and y'all welcome. But getting back to what I was saying, the mindset change. When you begin to understand that you're here for a purpose, and the purpose is bigger than you. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than what you want. It's bigger than the way you look. It's bigger than all of that. But your name is very well attached to it. Who you are is your name, right? That attaches very closely and strongly to who you are, right? Your purpose. And again, if you don't think your purpose is to be a wife, okay, I get it. But you have to be the best single woman that you can be. You absolutely do. You still have to be an example, because our purpose is God. We still have to be fruitful. I didn't say multiply. I have never given y'all permission to go procreate. But I always tell you to preserve yourself. You must continue to preserve yourself. And if you have not, you need to be on that journey, because I got to tell y'all something. If you are one of those ladies that have been chosen to be a single, you have a purpose for it. It could be doing right what I'm doing now, talking to some other young woman that is in the next generations to come, to let them know how purposeful they are and how purposeful their life can be if they do certain things. Because God put it all here for us, and we're supposed to be fruitful. And being fruitful is just spreading the word of God and talking about how our life and hearts have been changed because of Him. And that's what we're supposed to do. But we first got to get that purpose. See, right now, most of us are still thinking that it's all about us. Everything revolves and funnels through us, but it doesn't. See, once you get it and you get that it's bigger than you, you start to want to be on time, because guess what? I'm representing somebody great now, and he's on time all the time. And he's correct, and he's in good company. And he comes with the shirt iron. He has an excellent presentation. He's somebody you want to follow. And that's who I am. So you start actually carrying yourself that way. It's not a temporary thing, because, temporary things, it fades away. You're not playing a game. You're walking it out. You're actually walking it out. It actually becomes who you are. You're like, okay, I'm seeing this. And then all these things, all these blessings become and bestowed upon you, because now you can handle those things. You'll get that good man. You'll get that good, faithful, committed man that you wanted, because guess what? That's who you are. It's just not a game, y'all. I'm just telling you, you got to stop funneling everything through your single mindset and thinking everything revolves around you, and understand that you actually have a purpose. And that purpose is not that job that you go to every day, or that career choice that you've made. Okay. I'll give you this. God gifts people things. There are certain people who are very gifted and talented in certain areas. I'm not taking that away. That is wonderful. And those are your gifts. I get it. And those are wrapped in your purpose. But even in that, you need to be being an example of who gave it to you. And then you can follow it, and somebody can follow you. And those things that you want and desire, you'll have those things. But it's a method to it. You first have to self-reflect, and then you have to get in your head. I'm telling you the thought process. You have to get into your head. Well, what is my purpose? What am I, what is this purpose that's bigger than me? And then you got to start looking around, y'all. You got to start looking around at all these things that are going on. You got to start, guess what? You got to acknowledge that there's a sky. You got to. You got to start acknowledging all the things that God has created, man and woman. You have to start acknowledging all these things and it'll start making sense to you. But you first got to get out of yourself. So anyway, y'all, I don't know if Mr. Boss actually dropped the link or not. He did. And I don't know if someone is here to ask or has anything to add to what I've said tonight. But understand, these twisted mindsets are delaying their purpose or delaying your purpose or whomever's. He's dropped the link once more. If I don't have anybody that wants to ask any questions, detailed questions or elaborate on something, y'all know I'm not going to be here in front of y'all very long. I'm not going to waste your time because I think I've given y'all something today that y'all got to think about. And we had 3 examples of how us women have been showing up. Now, we ain't going to throw the women away, but we can definitely see in their behaviors how we're a bit twisted. And I brought it in with a very small example of being late. Now, some of y'all might be at this point in your life where you be like, what's wrong with being late? Shoot. Again, we're going to have to start funneling things. This is not how you funnel things through your purpose. You know, that's all about you. It's all about you. And guess what? You are definitely delaying your purpose or I'm going to say your purpose or your accomplishments or however, whatever it's linked to, you're delaying it with that type of mindset. So, all right, guys. Huh? Why? Why not? Huh? Why what? Black, what are you talking about? How you doing today, Black? Why you can't be late? Black, what you mean why you can't be late? You can't be late because you've made a promise to somebody to be on time when you accepted that engagement, proposal, job, whatever it was. You made a promise to be somewhere at that particular time. And what I'm talking about is work. You made a promise to be there. That's why you can't be late. But you could be late if you want to, because the consequences for being late would be that you're fired. You'll never get a raise. All your opportunities may just be wasted. All those things could happen or nothing. And you'll find yourself in that same position. See, that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We find ourselves in the same position that we were in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, still with no man. And we're still telling ourselves that men are the fault. You know, that's why I use these 3 ladies here as for an example, because there's nowhere in these 3 videos that we saw that we could blame the man for the behaviors of the woman or say that the man is the reason why the women act the way they did. Now, the only one that y'all could closely blame is the lady at the end, the doctor. And the only reason why y'all would do that is because we never heard doctors put people out. But guess what? Doctors are people too. Listen, doctors are people too. And I'm telling you, y'all, they're getting tired. We are in a time now because we are doing so many things without morals, without God, without accountability. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, people getting crazy. They're going to start cutting your head off. They're going to be putting your name on the list saying you can't come. How about that? Have y'all ever been on the list where the doctor say you can't come? How about this? Skip an appointment. You know, don't go to an appointment no more. Skip one and see if they'll let you come back. They'll be like, you stood us up on this appointment 3 years ago. Let me see if she's willing to see you now. You're going to be like, what? 2 or 3 years ago? Well, yes, you missed an appointment 2 or 3 years ago. You can't come back. How about this? You go to the doctor and you 15 minutes late. I'm sorry, you're going to have to make this another appointment because you was 15 minutes late. I know y'all have seen this. I know y'all have seen this. It's going to get worse, y'all. It's going to get worse. My mama would say that being late is being trifling. Ooh, your mama, I love her. She'll call somebody a helpful too, wouldn't you, Jeanette? Oh, hey, Lisa Bowman, how are you? Oh, no, what's going on? I just got here. Lisa, you are too late, but what we're talking about is twisted mindsets are delaying your purpose. What we're saying is, how do we get out of having a twisted mindset? The twisted mindset that's been represented today is basically selfishness, how we think and funnel everything through ourselves without accountability. And we actually think we're doing the right thing and we're correct. The example that was given, I am summing this up, and the example that was given is being late for work. There are some people who actually think being late for work is no big deal. And they funnel everything through themselves. Whereas if you're on your purpose and you're doing things in God's name and you're a representative of him, your purpose in the morning when you're going to work is to get up and go to work. It's not to get up and turn the TV on and see what happened on the news last night or see what's happened or get your phone and spend lose yourself in TikTok or lose yourself in Instagram. It is to keep it moving because your purpose is to get to work on time. But what happens is you get to work and you're late and you're telling your boss, "Whoo, that traffic was a mess." And nobody actually correlates that to being selfish, but it's a very selfish act. And it goes on. We had a lot of examples, but we went on to make this something that our ladies have to do because we want to be the best version of ourselves as single women as of married women. But our mindsets definitely have to change. So that's kind of what it was about, Lisa. Hey, Antonio, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, SB?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I still remember when I seen you at the Atlanta meetup, with Anton.
Okay.
That was about 2 years back.
Oh, has it been that long ago? It surely has. The time been flying. Yeah. So you at work right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the truck. I just pulled over, shut down for the night.
I saw you too. You told, I don't know, I was looking at you. I don't know what, I wasn't looking at you, but I was looking at Aaron's show, I think it was. And you mentioned that you saw me on Hardly Initiated also.
Oh, yeah.
I like to float around in Atlanta a lot. Definitely.
Yeah. So, I definitely enjoyed you on Hardly Initiated.
Good. Thank you so much for that. So what do you have to add to this conversation, sir?
Oh, no, I the one was talking about Donnie. She's part of the Social Proof podcast.
Okay.
And so she's part of the Social Proof podcast. I'm always looking at different financial things. And that's how I know her. And one thing she said that she has a purpose in life. And if she's never to find her husband or the man for her, she's not gonna worry about it. She wants a husband, but if it doesn't align with her purpose, then she may not have a husband, and she says she's gonna have to be fine with that.
Ooh, so she's basically said she's gonna be single for life.
She's saying she understands that may be a possibility.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I guess it's an empowering thing to accept something like that. But even as a single, what are you doing? You still have a purpose. In my opinion, you still have a purpose to do and align with God and do what he says for you to do. The one thing that she said, just from what you're saying, is off is the fact that, a husband finds, if you want a good man, he has to find you. And we as women, we're supposed to be helpmates no matter how much money we produce. No matter how much money we produce, we still come with a certain mindset. Women, we are built in a way. We are built in a way. And I'm not saying she can't be smart, she can't be logical, she can be all of that, but we still are built in a way, and that way that we're built serves a purpose. And that's what I mean by the twisted mindsets. Once we operate out of our mind, once we operate out of our purpose for too long, we tend to think that we no longer have that purpose. But to interact with the opposite sex man, we have to share that. We have to show that, or I should say, it's a must. Because we can't have a man and a woman operating in the same vein, living in the same house. It won't work. We all have our roles that we play, whether it's traditional or modern. We still all have the roles that we play. And what I've learned in these spaces, Antonio, is that even though a lot of times men say, or I should say women, we always talk about what we want to be better about men, we still lend to the more traditional man as our husbands. We still want men to be traditional. We still want y'all to do certain things. I know I do. And, my husband is a traditional man, but we want that. Even though we say we don't want it, we actually do. We don't want to be out there mowing grass. We don't want to be, trimming the yard. We don't want to do that stuff, cleaning out the gutters. We don't want to be the top earners. We really don't. But, in society today, since things are occurring in some situations, we feel as though this is the only way it can be, or we can't be in a mindset that we can still allow our men to be the men and uplift them and still be a good wife. We can still, no matter how much money I make, I still got to uplift my husband. He's still the man. He still has a role.
Beloved.
So
most definitely.
I hate that.
Boss.
Yeah, he back there. I hate that for I mean, I don't hate anything for her. I guess she's living her best life. But what she demonstrated on that video that she was on with those other two guys was very typical. And she said she was getting away from being typical, but that was very typical. You know, to say those things about a man just saying, I would like to take you on a coffee date. Well, what's wrong with that?
I mean, now that she does have clips, I seen other clips. She's saying everything that kind of.
Your microphone went out, Antonia. Your microphone went out. You did something.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. It went out.
Okay. It jumped on my earpiece.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She does have like I said, it is clips out there on the internet with her speaking on different subjects, and it may be you know, we'll say shows her in a different light. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's actually on an episode of Hardly Initiated.
Okay.
I think it's something like over 40 and dating, something like that.
I have to go back and look at it because I didn't recognize her to be on Hardly Initiated, but maybe so. But what you say, she is a business coach, meaning she teaches individuals how to open up businesses, right?
No, well, she takes the business you do now and let you 10x it. So if you got your own business, you probably are making it 40,000 a year, whatever the case may be. She takes that business and tell you how to scale up and make it a $250,000 business.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna look and see, but she's talking about dating over 40. Is that possibly it? Was she with someone else?
Yes. Steve Harvey's daughter.
I remember that. I remember
Yes.
Steve Harvey's daughter, but I don't remember the other young lady that's on. I don't recall the other person that was on there with her.
I believe that was her.
Okay, well, I just think that was very typical, not of a good look for a Black woman, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think we need to learn to take a little bit more instruction. You could be however you want to be, you know, in your private life, but to come off with that, it was a little strong for me. And to say it's not typical is very off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's why the word typical kind of triggered her, because of what she do in life. You know, she makes everything grand, or she take people business and make it grand businesses, and that's all she does in life. So when she heard the word typical, it did trigger her.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, but is that real though? I mean, it seemed like to me, the context that she said it in, he was saying he does this typically, not that it was typical for her. See, I read that so different. I read that as somewhat of consideration, because we're in a time now where dating is not easy. So if a man says, I'm going to go out on a date with you during the day, I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. So he's not wanting anything from me. You know, he's not trying to be fresh. He's not trying to be pushy. He really wants to get to know me. I'm considering that. That's how I see it. But for her to take any amount of offense to it, it's like, well, why would you be offended by that? I know I'm not typical. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to tell Antonio, I don't have to tell you I'm not typical. I know this. So
Right.
Despite what you're doing as a man, I just can't, it's okay. You know, because I can decide not to date you, but I don't have to read you or dress you down or even dress down the situation to another group of men. Right. So that's, that was it. But I was just using her for an example because she talks so fast.
Right.
But listen, Antonio, do you have anything else you want to add? Because I think I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you finally coming up.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. If I'm not driving and, I want to get on in the subject, I definitely will come up on any show, any platform that allow people to come up.
Okay. Well, listen, maybe we'll see you soon.
Oh, most definitely. I always tune in. I'm all for SB Nation.
Thank you. Have a good night. Be safe.
All right. All right.
Bye-bye. Oh gosh, Miss M says she took it as being low rated. She did. She very much did that. Let me see. It was something else I wanted to Let's see what we need to know podcast. Let's see. Hello, sir. How are you doing? It's good to see you. T-Shaw. Is that right? Is she on one of Hardly Initiated shows? I got to go back and check her out. Class ain't covered. How you doing? How are you doing? Listen, guys, Smokey J, how are you? Easy to say now. Wait until age 50. That thought may change. Smokey, what's wrong with being 50? Is it over at 50? Smokey, is it over at 50? I'm 50 plus. But anyway, listen, guys, y'all have a terrific night. I will be back to see you guys on what's tonight? Thursday night. Hopefully we'll have another good topic. It's been outstanding to talk with you guys. I love your comments in the comment section. Smokey Joe, I'm just kidding with you, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm sorry. Oh, and all my members. I hope we show up on Thursday with the week. Who's we? Black. You weak. That's why you by yourself. How about that? I said it. I've been wanting to say it for a long time. You got issues. That's why you single.
Let's get around.
Now,
let's keep
what you gonna do? The show going off. I'm gonna run now.
Don't want to finish. And I'm sorry.
John M. Hello, it's good to see you. Come back with something real quick so I can have something else for you. You're the weak one.
You want that old
all these women out here, you don't have one. You're the problem.
Standing at the edge of
I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. Thursday night, guys. Listen, until then, y'all have a very good week. And I'll talk to y'all then. Bye-bye.
You screaming, stay, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to flow. It's so different with distance we roam into zones where nothing get heard anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in a daze, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably wanna beat my to death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reasons, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.